So Mississippi. I did not consent to media.
All right, I won't film your face then.
Look at that Hornell, $25.
Let me ask you something. What do you got for me?
What were you gonna say?
Do you have anything really flashy to show? And I'm trying to be quick, so I can't talk to your crazy ass for too long.
These three are pretty cool. Actually, it's pretty cool, but that's not super flashy.
Just the posters commonly missing.
Those and this are
Kingsfield,
the most flashy thing.
Kingsfield jewel variant. Hey, little eBay suggestion. I mean, it'd be really nice if you could get yourself a copy of Kingsfield 2.
And lot
but
them
lot them, man. What a beautiful lot of the jewel case, minty, Kingsfield 1. You get a premium, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Little eBay chick. You know, the feng shui lots work.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the Ark the Lad set is probably the biggest thing other than this stupid fucking game.
Oh, that is nice with the book to match. Would be nice to avoid shipping that thing out.
Yeah, I had someone interested in Ark the Lad, and I was like, you have to take the guide too, and it's like $80.
I wouldn't want to split them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not splitting them up. I'll put it back on my shelf.
These been in your collection for a while, and that's how you got them. So they weren't like recent acquisitions.
The Lunar 2, almost everything in it is sealed.
Pendant?
Other than the game.
You got pendant in there?
It's got everything.
100%. What's that at? A little over 2?
It's like right around 2. Somebody was interested in it, and I was like 250 because like there are some listed in the same condition for 250 to 300 plus, and I was like, honestly, for less than 250, I'll keep it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. When you get a condition that it's hard to replace.
That's actually what I was going to ask you. Whenever you start talking, I was going to be like, you think 250 on that's a little crazy?
No.
Yeah, I don't, honestly.
When it's such a fan favorite game.
Because I feel like I could lot it with Lunar and get fucking like $400.
That's how you do it. That's how I would do it, for sure. I'll bet your Silhouette Mirage has gotten a lot of attention. I'm just guessing, because that one's been, it's been hot for me locally. Everyone's, and I saw the condition from the outside. It looked a little, so it's a gutted manual.
That is the only thing wrong with it.
Rental sticker.
Is a rental sticker. The disc's actually not bad.
It's
gutted manual.
It's a total player's copy, not really a collector's copy. It's got the right jewel case on it though.
Dude, but I've had probably no less than 4 or 5 people be interested in it. Like, how much is it? It's $75. Like, hell yeah. There's no pages in the manual.
Yeah,
they're like, don't want
sure.
it. And I'm like, it's priced very accordingly for that.
Yeah, but
it's priced at disc only.
It's a collector baiting game. A collector wants it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one takes a hit when it's not in collector condition.
What are you asking for diamonds?
Pretty cheap. He was asking 50 yesterday, but I think he marked it up.
No, the stickers. Oh yeah, I took it off. $70.
No, do 50 for Devin.
I mean, if you wanted $50.
Devin won't do 50.
What do you
won't
do
do
at cons
50.
for it?
I usually just grab them on auction style.
No. What do you get at cons?
All right, I'm gonna keep it rolling.
I usually mark it.
Good to see you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out to Really Rad Weekend. Have you had a really rad weekend? Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully
Yes,
next
I
year.
have. Oh, hey viewers.
Magical Chase on Game Boy Color. That was some unlicensed release in a
This was
fan
a
group, right?
Nintendo Age limited release. It's one of the last ones they did before they shut down.
So they had like a series of,
25. There were 25 made.
but they did a few other titles too.
No, just that one. I mean, the guy did a few others, but yeah.
Okay.
They did 25 of that one. Jill got one, and I got one.
He was a pretty well-known dude in the community
Yes,
too,
yeah,
right?
he was. I actually
Like known for doing a really high quality reproduction where the manual's nice in it and everything.
I have some reproductions from, I think Kevbot was his name at Nintendo Age. I have a Ninja Turtles collection that is on a cart that when you reset the console, it swaps between the games.
Okay.
And the PCB and the chips are marked with Ninja Turtle symbols and stuff, which back 10 years ago was absurd to do. Like now you're like, every game has that. But back then, it was impossible. And like I thought about selling that, but like I don't think I go.
Is there still a good healthy market for some of that unlicensed stuff? For example, I forget what it's called, the Time Walk Zelda.
Time Walk, yeah, a little bit.
Those are still expensive.
Yeah, they're still pretty expensive. The Time Walks will always be expensive because they're like the first. They're like the grandfather of reproductions. And
Of doing a quality meant for collectors job.
I should have
with
brought it here just because it would be cool, but I have like the Incident Collector's Edition, which was a Nintendo Age limited release from a developer who made a bunch of kind of forget like homework questions. He made a bunch of NES homebrews that are very popular. He lives next to me in Crestview.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
he literally lives 0.1 miles from my house.
Damn.
He hand delivered it to me.
You should pick him off some of his stuff. All right, Ryan, I'm gonna roll. Good to see you. Good stuff. You make some good sales. How much money have you made?
Today probably at least $400 or $500. Yesterday
Today
was
alone?
yesterday was like 23.
Damn, dude.
So I might break even today.
And what did the booth cost you?
$200.
That's fucking
And
winning. That's what we look for.
because they love me.
That's what we look for, right, Devin? Go to cons where you get a good. Because the way you look at it is like my overhead was 200. I sold this. I beat the hell out of eBay fees. You know what I mean?
My thought is if I could make in the weekend what I made it one night at Retropalooza, I'd be good, and I beat that. So.
Nice. Good stuff. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll leave soon. We'll pop in, look at BAM, go to the grotto. This is Sega Steve. He's the nation's leading expert on Sega Genesis. I love talking to this guy. I want to try to keep it rolling though. So I just want to, Steve. Can I ask you one thing?
Yes, sir.
While I'm filming here, can you explain the Miracle Piano to me, just briefly?
So, Miracle Piano was available in 4 different flavors. That would have been NES, Super NES, PC, and Genesis. Of those 4, that is the rarest flavor. A lot of people don't even know they made it for Genesis.
I've never even seen the cart of it.
Yeah, and so it's the same piano across all of those different flavors, but that has a Genesis cart, a Genesis cable, and of course the stickers that say that orange sticker, what used to be orange, on there says Genesis. It's just covering up what used to say PC.
Does it have case manual?
It does not have
inside?
a case. It's a bare cartridge. Just
Gotcha.
like Outback Joey was a bare cartridge inside of its larger cardboard box.
Is there a Genesis style manual that?
No, it's not even a Genesis style manual.
Okay.
It's a larger, full-size 8.5 by 11 manual,
Okay.
spiral bound. So it's a totally different. Actually, it's not spiral bound. It's a hard, not hard bound, a hard spine manual, blue manual.
Gotcha.
But it's just an oddball. You don't see many of them, and over time, over the last 10 years, I've seen 3 true complete Outback Joeys for sale around the internet.
Okay.
3 over 10 years. There's 2 of these in the last 10 years that I've ever seen. I have both of them. I'm not saying these things are the rarest thing in the world, but you just never see these as true complete.
You would say it's kind of like a discount Outback Joey. If one pops up in somebody's local area and they can get it for a few $100, they're scoring something that's Outback Joey caliber.
I will call this, people will give the name Holy Grail to Outback Joey, and I will call this the White Whale.
I like that.
And in reality, the White Whale is the task that is hardest to complete.
Right.
And Holy Grail is the thing that is the object of desire that, it has a little higher value to it, but the White Whale is harder to attain. And that's kind of how I look at these 2.
This thing's easily the #1 full set blocker for a lot of guys that are probably one off, and it's probably going to be Miracle Piano in a lot of
Yeah,
cases.
you're going to be if you're a true completionist, full set, and want true complete stuff. You can find the cartridge all day long. The cartridge for this is on eBay all day long. No big deal. But the box and the cable and the manuals, and to have all the peripherals inside,
Right.
that's going to be a mountain that's going to be really hard to climb. And I'm really curious how many more there are out there, because it took me 10 years to piece together 2 complete ones.
Yeah, I think.
And I never see them show up.
I think the cartridge rarity is kind of indicative of a true low production of it. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, it didn't survive complete very often, but the fact that we don't see the carts surfacing very often is pretty indicative that it was small print. Thank you for sharing that, Steve.
Yeah, and the last time, if you look on the thing that's kind of interesting is the last time that it sold, according to price charting, was in 2016. You can look that up, and I believe it sold at $600, and it says CIV, and so is that just
We don't
what
know.
is that? Is that true complete?
We
Don't
can't
know.
click on it and see anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say where this is, but this is all the conventions I've been to, the people that I talk to, nobody's ever seen a complete one. And a couple people have them, but they're not complete. They're missing the pedal or the cable, the connector cable or the earphones, the manuals.
Now,
So-
is this a show and tell piece, or is it really for sale?
It's available. I brought it here to Florida because somebody in Dallas last year said, this is what they're missing to complete their Genesis set. And do you have one? I said, yes, I do, but it's at home in Houston, and I'm here in Dallas. I said, look, if I ever go to a convention out in Florida, I will bring it with me. And so I'm fulfilling my end of the bargain. And
Where's
Homeboy
this
never
guy
showed
at,
up.
man?
Yeah,
You
I don't
forgot.
know. And unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to exchange numbers with him when I did that. So, but anyway, it's there. It's open to offers. I don't know what to price it at because I don't know what it's worth. It's a weird situation.
Yeah. It's got to go to the right person. And
Absolutely.
It's only going to be the right person that is going to be willing to pay for it.
You gotta have a nut job like me who's a true completionist.
Right.
And this is one of the last two things they need. Yeah.
Super cool. Thank you, Steve.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'll see you in Texas probably next time.
Yes, sir.
Got Mike with Retro Bash. I did a little deal with him. I got AC's Silver Load on PS1, long box. He had a few hidden gems that I was very tempted by. I had some trade credit with them, but I ended up blowing my load on a long box PS1 game, Silver Load. I like his taste, his types of games that he tries to target and bring out, kind of that collector niche. That was tempting too.
So everything is there, should have a price on it, it's all 20% off.
20% off, you said?
Yes, yeah, everything. Maybe more if I really don't want to back it up.
Do you know what time? You know what time the vendor floor closes?
4:30, I want to say.
Okay.
I believe so. We got an hour and a half.
All right. I'll be back. I'll try to do some shopping with you. That's Thomas of Bonfire Games.
Hello.
He's local to me. He's out in Tampa, so he came to a really rad weekend. Thank you, Thomas. And really quick, I'll just show. We'll get going here. This is my last thing I want to film, Devin. Try to see some of Scott Squatch's high-end stuff. Just top shelf stuff that he has as a collector. You know, this is a collector selling. This is when you're a store, you can't really get this stuff in. You know, it's like you're a store, you need to make money, so you need to buy stuff for a little less than what you're gonna sell it for. And this is stuff that's just doesn't really work, doesn't fit that formula. It's too rare. You're just never gonna be able to get your hands on it to flip it, kind of stuff. But when you're a collector and you decide to sell some of your top shelf stuff, you end up having like a mini museum at Really Rad Weekend. Titles like Magical Chase, Snatcher, and Keo. I was talking to him about the Keo. He doesn't even know what it's going for right now. I was like, what's it at, like 2,500? He's like, is it at 2,500? Sounds crazy, but maybe. And he told me that it had cellophane on it, but it was all busted up, nasty looking, so he removed the cellophane. Brand new Keo right there. Chris, are you gonna be here for a little while?
For a minute, yeah.
I'm doing a little video. Let me wrap this up, and I want to talk with you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I'll just end it here. This is Rad Junk. I've shown a lot of this stuff from Retropalooza. Their prices are fantastic, though. I gotta say, like, on a lot of that, my favorite kind of stuff, the Wii 360, that 7th gen, a little bit of 6th gen stuff. I really like their prices. And they always do deals when you buy several things at once, so do a lot of spending here too. But this is the vendor floor. I didn't hit every game store. Got YouTuber Retro Wolf with his stuff out here. But these guys have been doing some selling out here, which is nice to see. The vendor floor seems like it's more of a hit than last year. Like, more money's being exchanged, and part of that's due to the market. I think just prices have come down a little bit to where it's more appetizing for us collectors. Ooh. And then the other thing is there's just an improvement of, I think a few vendors fell out that were here last year selling kind of like knickknacks, little collectibles, little handmade stuff. And now it's a lot more just raw retro games here. So I like that. I think that's a good attribute to Really Rad Weekend. I think, like, if I'm traveling out, say I live in Alabama, it takes me 4 or 5 hours to get here. Like, I would like to have an opportunity to find and buy a bunch of rare games. So I think the vendors delivered on that twice as good as last year. So of course, that's my favorite part of every con, is the games. I'll check in, show Bam Margera in my next video. But this is the vendor floor, Really Rad Weekend.